it certainly looks like one of those Casey Neistat unboxing videos. You guys remember that, where he would do mealtime? Yeah, I just ordered a bunch of stuff, and it's good content, so we're gonna unbox it. Because why not? Oh my goodness, look at you. I like that camera. What are you using? What kind of Canon is that?
It's a R6 Mark II.
That looks good. It's been a while since I messed around with that A7 back there, besides just for live stream stuff, but that is a handsome shot. And it's doing well too, because I'm backlit. The window's blowing out.
Let me cant it down.
Oh, you can keep it like that. There you go. Well, now if you zoom in, check out what happens. It's a head crop.
Right, it won't work.
Alright. Alright, so it's probably worth explaining what some of this stuff is. So, in the music making world, there's hardware and there's software. And a lot of people really like hardware for changing the way certain things sound. And so I bought a bunch of hardware because I find value in that sort of thing. This first box, and I'm going to unbox it in stages, but this first thing is a hardware unit that holds smaller hardware units. You guys probably don't care, but the type of hardware units that it holds are called 500 series. Basically, like most pieces of gear are like this big, and these pieces of gear are like this big. They're tiny little, they look like tiny little books on a bookshelf. And this thing here is the shelf, essentially. It's also a power supply for each of the little pieces of hardware. And yeah, it's nice. Housing for it, but it's a nice one, because if you're going to invest in stuff, you want to make sure that you're getting good stuff. Don't turn the camera away. That's a vlogger's first
Trying to figure out what this flashing symbol means.
Flashing symbol?
Yeah, this one
Probably means recording. Oh, that? Yeah, I got no idea. I don't think it matters. You're getting audio and video. Hey, just curious, what frame rate do you use generally?
I have no idea.
I generally go with 30.
I think it says 24.
Yeah, a lot of people like 24.
No, that's millimeter. So, frame rate. I don't know. Hang on a second, let me check.
Did you find out what frame rate you're using?
Oh, no, I didn't. Hang on a second.
Final Cut will tell you what the frame rate is of the piece of, of the files that you're using, and then you just set the thing for that. So I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyway, I just bring it up because I like to use 30 for like motion blur stuff, and it also is compatible with like iPhone footage, which just defaults to 30 frames per second.
True.
And also, it's nice for slow-mo because you can shoot something in 60 and slow it down half. And
That's pretty smart. I've typically pick 24 just for the look.
I like 24 too.
All right.
But I find with like handheld, when I was doing like vlogs every week, is like if you hold it, your hand's a little bit shaky. In 24 frames, it's like you see more of the shakiness, and with 30 frames, it's a lot smoother. It's easier on the eyes. So that was one of the main reasons I chose.
I'm set to like when I shoot things on the iPhone, I shoot it at 60.
Oh, this is a promotional. So this is a microphone. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So you know that console that I got, that UAD interface.
Yeah.
Well, they were offering like a deal with a free microphone that they make. I don't have a use for this microphone, but I'm pretty sure I could sell it.
Wow.
And
what is it?
I don't know. I think it's one of. There's like there are some microphones out there that will model a bunch of different microphones. I don't know how much I'd really place my faith in that. I've not tried it, so maybe it's cool. But I'd probably end up selling it, just buying more outboard gear.
What's the value of it if they gave it away?
Well, I spent a good deal of money on the other hardware unit. So, the Sweetwater rep said is like, Ryan said it was like $1,000.
Okay.
My memory could be a little off on that, but that was the reasoning for opting to
So the company gave
receive
away.
it at all. You don't have to receive it.
The
but I was
company
like,
gave
oh.
away $1,000 microphone. That sounds like quite a giveaway.
Well, they like to encourage business,
Okay.
Ooh, the goodies. These
What
are
you
going to
got?
be really nice. Okay, so these are, this is one unit of the 500 series. So all of the outboard gear that I'm buying are
Neat.
compressors.
Gotcha.
And these are some really great compressors for drums. Like, they're incredible. Be careful with them. So, I'll tell you more about like once I unbox it and actually put it in the chassis for it. But I got 2 of them. The plan is to get 4, but I figured get a stereo pair, play around with it before you invest in the rest of it. But those are really special compressors. And then this, I don't know what this is. This is a mystery. Mysterious unboxing. And then there's another box down there which I'm not going to unbox because it's that hardware compressor that Aaron's going to build.
Oh.
So I'd rather just like let him, unbox it, see all the parts, and start assembling.
Yeah, cool.
But I wasn't expecting that to arrive so soon. That's cool.
Gonna give the box to Aaron.
Yeah. And if I like it, I'll order a second one of that to have Aaron build, because it's always good to get 2 of something, because
Yeah.
each one of these units handles like 1 channel, and if you want stereo, if you want left and right, you need 2 obviously.
Sure.
So
That's also good.
most of the sounds that I use, even if they sound like they're mono, there's some type of stereo presence to them. I just tend to do that. So it's very useful to have 2 of them,
Plus
because
you
then you're
found
not limited.
that no 2 things sound the same. Like
That's true.
You've got
Every piece of hardware is a little different.
Right.
That's the thing about plugins. Is
very
plugins are all the same, but hardware varies. What's that?
I said in very rare circumstances have you found 2 sets of things
Well,
that sound the same, like from
it's the
microphones
same.
to compressors.
If it was manufactured in the same
lot.
yeah, if it was made within like the same week, like that type of thing,
Yeah.
it'll be pretty dead on. But of course, like as things age,
Yeah.
they drift because they're real things. They're not software. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's the you could say it's a downside, but it also gives each thing a little character. And when you have differences, like slight differences between the left channel and the right channel, it makes it sound wider.
For sure.
So
That is great.
You want me to show you how to add an explosion?
Yes, because
I love the explosion.
I have no idea, but I would love to.
Simple.
On Final Cut, you can add explosions.
Yeah, you would find like an explosion, like resource of some kind. Basically, they're on YouTube.
What sort
But
of
you
file?
have an explosion against the green screen, and once you have that piece of video, you just key out the green screen, and then you have the explosion, and then you can shrink it or make it bigger or smaller.
Wow.
And that might have audio already attached, or me and my craziness, I'm like go fishing
Yeah,
for
I have no idea how to do that.
specific.
But historically, whenever you've done your unboxings and you've tossed your box and it does the explosion, like everyone does that. So. What you got there?
I do not know. They order so many things. It kind of blurs. let's see what this
It
is.
says Black Lion.
Oh, yeah, this is a power supply.
Aha.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So this is another outboard unit. I have a rack arriving, but for now it's just going to stack on top of that.
Okay.
But this is a power strip. So this will.
It's giant.
Well, it's wide. They just have
The
packaging.
back of it has an illustration.
Yeah, this will power all the other units. That way, you know, it's not a rat's nest of wires behind the thing. So
Plus, I heard like the power source is really important. Like you.
Oh yeah, proper
You
power.
need clean, isolated power, or it messes with your music.
Yeah, this is a really good power supply, and it also accounts for apparently noise, like white noise, that kind of thing. That'll seep into
So can you
the hardware units,
can
and
you
this
name
filters it
the
out.
brand and model numbers of the things you bought?
Why?
I don't know. Just to like because people might be interested. When you
Well,
do
I'll go through that and I'll talk about what each thing is.
yeah, when you do unboxings,
When-
typically people want to know what it is.
Yeah, but I haven't. You have to understand. I now have to unbox the smaller boxes.
Okay.
It's like one of those Russian dolls, you know, just has so many layers. Okay. What should I do first? Well, power should probably go on the bottom because the heat stuff has to go on top. So,
Doesn't
I'll do the power supply first.
the power source doesn't heat up?
Not as much, I don't think. Basically, anything with a tube in it heats up, and the Apollo interface, which is handling, basically, it takes all of these units and routes them into my computer, so it's working really hard, and that'll heat up. So that you want to put on top as well. And once I have a rack, you obviously space it out, so there's space between the units. I'm squirting blood out! Ah!
Stop!
Again, a second
Nobody
time.
likes that joke.
I like that joke. If I like it, somebody else out there will like it too. Oh, you're way zoomed in. I can see how the glass looks. Alright, well, so this first thing that we're taking out of the box is a power supply. The name of the power supply is PG-1MK2.
Oh, fascinating.
Very exciting.
Actually, it's named like Black Lion or something.
Well, that's the company, that's not the model.
Well, that's how you generally start. You name the brand and then the model. And then you explain what it is.
Aye.
Alright.
Alright. Okay. Power supply. This and this. That should be everything that's in here. Now this will be a manual. How best to use it. I have to be very careful with this as well. You can shoot everything, just not that wall over there.
Yes, and told me not to shoot that wall because it has all
Do
your,
not shoot that wall.
has all your album information up on it.
Yeah. You're gonna have to edit that out.
Yeah.
That's just for me. You just seen your face. Okay. So I don't have the case yet, but this all goes in a big case and it screws in, so it's just mounted there, and the case itself actually is a traveling case too, so never has to leave. You just bring the case around and it has all of your outboard gear, which is a lot easier than dealing with each individual gear. But good power is important, and this definitely has what I'm going to need for it. So it looks like this. Each piece of outboard gear is this wide because that's what it's made for. That's what all the racks are designed. It's designed to be this width. So you'll notice over there, same business, right? So this powers my speakers, and this connects everything to my computer, and this will be the power supply for everything else, which is going to go in the rack. So it's quite cool. We'll move on to this next, and maybe the microphone. Singing on a glorious feeling. Okay, let's move on to the 500 series rack. So, lots of different companies make housings or racks for 500 series modules. This one is by Neve. The reason that I bought it is because it has 10 spaces, so it allows me to put just more upward gear units inside of it, and it also powers it really well, and it can stereo link the two. It's just really well made. It does a lot of things, so it was what we opted for when me and Ryan, my Sweetwater rep who helps me pick out gear, it's what seemed to make the most sense. And now it's here, and I'll have more like outboard gear on the way. It's hilarious. I just got this rack and I already have stuff on the way that's going to fill it out completely. But I know what I like. I know what I need, so. So these would be all the screws that you need to mount it into a larger rack. This is a rack for smaller little units, and then this rack goes inside a larger rack. This is a Rupert Neve Designs 500 series rack. And you'll see that it says that in the front here. This is, you're looking at the front of it. I'll just take the wrapping off.
Wait, that's a rack?
That's a rack.
It only fits a couple things.
So vertically, see each of these blue things in there?
Yeah.
There are 10 slots. 10 little pieces of outboard gear. It's actually, it's sort of all the rage in the audio community at the world.
I thought a rack would be like the size of a cabinet.
No, the bigger rack that houses this rack, that will be pretty big.
Oh, okay.
But this is a 500 series rack, which I don't know why it's called 500 series, but each of these 10 slots houses a little unit, and the unit can be anything that you want.
Okay.
And some units are bigger, and they take
a
up
rack
2
within a rack
spaces. Pretty much.
Gotcha.
But this is a really high quality one. It's a Rupert Neve Designs R10 10 space 500 series rack, and very simple to use. You click this to power on the units that are in there, and then it shows you how much power you're taking up. And if we look at the back, which is where you plug everything in, so channel 10 here, which would be 1 unit. How it works is I have an audio interface which is currently sitting here. Basically, the signal flow is this. My computer has a sound in it that I want to affect in some way, and one of these 10 units that are effects boxes, I can send to one of these effects boxes. So I send it out of my computer into the audio interface, and from the audio interface it plugs into one here, runs through the unit, runs back out, and goes back into the audio interface and goes back into the computer. Crazy, right? But it sure sounds good, so that's why we do it. I'm gonna set this up here for now. I have another big unit which will sit on top of here before you even get to the audio interface. You see how important it is to have an actual place to mount all of these, because otherwise you're just stacking units on top of each other, hoping you don't bump into them and the whole thing crashes over. So I'll have something to properly house it a little bit. But in the meantime, we can play around with this. We're gonna unbox these compressor modules, which will fit vertically. There's 2 of them, so it'll look like that and that.
What are they called?
This would be the Neve 2264 ALB compressor units. This is it models an old compressor unit, which I don't remember the name of, but they squeezed it all into a tinier housing. But these sound fantastic on drums. But I specifically am going to use them on kick, snare, toms, but you can use them for anything really. They're very versatile in terms of, I mean, I'm sure you guys don't know what compressors are, and it's all very technical, but compression and the compressors that do the compression, every piece of music you've heard has been compressed in some way. Generally, audio goes up and down, and compression takes the very top and the very bottom, brings them closer together, makes it more listenable. When they're closer together, it's more consistent, and you can actually turn the volume up more. I'm gonna have to cut that out.
I will.
I've never sneezed on camera.
No, you never will.
And no one has ever seen me sneeze on camera.
It's in all your contracts.
That's funny. This is the hardware unit. Oh, it's so tiny and cute. My goodness. Something that sounds this amazing is not generally this small. Okay, I'm gonna unbox it from the back. There we go. There we go. This is one 500 series type unit, which means it's small like this. They're all the same height, so that they can fit in the rack. So you'll see this slots in just like that.
Oh.
You see? So you fill up...
So they go vertically like that.
Yeah, they fill up the 10 spaces. And I'm going to have 4 of these on this side, and then probably 6 of the same other compressor that I'm waiting to arrive. But I thought I'd order 2 of these to start with, just so I can figure out, confirm really in person that I like the sound, and then I'll order the other 2. But if I don't like these, I'll return them. But I'm gonna love them. I'm gonna really use them. They're great compressors. And there's pretty extensive audio demos online of how they work, and I've listened to them, and just they're chef's kiss when it comes to drum compression, at least. Sound amazing on snare. Anyway, yeah, the Neve 22. I mean, it says it right there, the Neve 2264 ALB. It's good. If you're curious how the thing works, you mess with it by way of, if you want to, there's 2 different compressors. There's a limiter, and then there's a compressor. And you activate it by pressing in on that, and then you can move this knob around, and you can move this knob around. Same goes for this. You can move it around like that. And same goes for this and this. And some switches there. This gives you a readout up top of how much it's compressing, which means if you have a big audio file and you're squeezing it, it tells you how much you're squeezing it. And we like to squeeze the audio. Us audio engineers. That's hilarious. So I have to figure out how to use these things. I've never used 500 series. It's probably as simple as you just plug it in. But there's some switches on the back here. Understand how this is? This 1 and 2?
I think...
just circuit breakers?
I don't know.
Something like that?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, it's alright. I'll read a manual on it. But that's what's in this box as well.
Or just take a picture of it and send it to Aaron, and he'll tell you what it is.
Yeah, pretty much. But that's what's in this box as well, so just gonna put it in for now.
Okay.
Wow. Sharp. Instrument link. That's interesting. I wonder if it'll do it in turn. Is that right though? I'm gonna stereo link these. So that's pretty much the unboxing that we have here. There's a microphone in there, which I may mess around with later, but for now I really just gotta learn how this works because this is a very important unit to mixing and just what I do in general when making music. So I really want to learn how that works. I gotta text Aaron about it, ask him a couple questions, and clean up the mess that I left myself. So I love you all. I'll see you on Saturday and tell you any updates that I have about this thing. That's all I have to say. I love you all. I'll see you out there. Take care.